Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that. What you didn't hear was Shane like, hey, Steven, nice moves. Lex, you're you.
You're you.
So, did you teach Michael Jackson the moonwalk?
No, actually, but we had the same teacher.
Oh, that's good to know. Hey guys.
Welcome, everyone, to today's webcast.
Yep, I'm Lex.
I'm Steven.
Tips and tricks, your tips and tricks we're going to share with everybody. And thank you. It made our research super easy this week.
Yeah. We've got some cool tricks to show you. So
Absolutely. So, should we jump in?
Let's get into it.
Okay. First thing I just want to point out, guys, Steven uses the Dvorak keyboard.
Yes.
So we're going to be switching back and forth, and odds are it's not going to help my spelling at all.
You might see some gibberish.
It will improve your spelling, even if accidentally.
No, okay.
Yeah, just a quick plug. If you don't type in Dvorak, you probably should be. So it's just better. Okay.
It's better.
Let's show you the first tip that came in from Dietrich K. This tip is to find non-admin users in local admin groups. So maybe we're gonna show you how you can view all of the users that are in your local administrator groups, and then you can try to track down if there are any that shouldn't be there.
So I like this just for the simple fact that, like, if you're not supposed to be a local admin, get them off. So
Yep.
how do you do it?
Okay, so whenever I'm going to make a new report or collection for something, I'm going to start looking in the computers. It's just so I can see what data we're looking for.
It's kind of like a cheat sheet.
Yeah. So I'm gonna open up the Beth computer, and I'm gonna go over here to local groups, because we want to look in the local administrators group, and we can see that we have some computers in here.
Oh, okay.
So to make a report, let's go back over here, create a new report.
Now, again, you were looking at the local group because you want to see members of the group, not local users.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were looking at
people get that mixed up all the
Yeah.
time. When I say people, I get that mixed up all the time. So get a name,
group.
the report. That's always a good one.
So we're going to want to see the computer name, and then we're going to want to get most of our information here from the local group member, because we're looking for members of the local group, the local administrators group.
Absolutely makes sense.
So we'll show the domain. That'll show us the domain, or if it's a local account. Local group member, let's do the name of the actual account. And let's also show the group, just to make sure we're always in the administrators group. So that's that. And then for filters, we're just going to make filter right here. Once again, local group member.
Yeah, and in this case, you really want to do the local group member. Is that right? Not local group.
So far, we've only done local group members, and we want the group name contains administrators.
How many times does it take me to type administrators?
No, we don't have that kind of data.
Yeah.
We don't. There's not enough time.
Okay, so we have a list. Since we have multiple items for each computer, I'm going to group by this column. And then let's do a full expand. Okay. So you can see our computers, and you can see each one has...
Like right out the gate, lapse admin.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah, we know that's legit.
I don't want to see it. How do we get rid of it?
We're also going to... We know administrator's legit, too.
Also,
so we have a
okay.
few to get rid of. Let's go back to define. I'm going to do a group filter here. And we're going to do not any. So if any of these sub-filters are there, we don't want to see them.
Okay.
Let's do local group member... Name contains, we know we don't want lapse admin.
In this case, I would actually say equals, because if you did contains and somebody had like administrators one,
that's true.
then that would pass.
Yeah, I would agree, except for in my case where I can't type, so I just got to get close.
We go to the lowest common denominator, but you are even
best.
lower than that.
Ow! I resent that statement.
100%.
Nice. Okay, so we've ruled out those. Vincent is also a valid one. Let me exclude
before you
that.
kick out Vince,
sure.
let's just scroll down, because right there, look at that, Fluffy.
What is Fluffy?
Okay.
So this is why this report is
Boy,
important.
that looks like someone put
basically-
that in there just for this.
The
Yeah.
takeaway is what you're doing is you're removing the acceptable ones.
The ones that we know are
so
supposed to
you
be
can remove
there.
some of the noise, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we can go track down and figure out what Fluffy's doing in here. So yeah, this is a really useful thing for just making sure that no one has administrator access that shouldn't.
Yep, I like it.
Okay.
All right.
That was a good tip.
Okay, we're going to switch.
Yep.
And I'm going to look, and you were nice. You got me back to English?
Right there.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Ready to go.
You got me back to English.
Yeah.
Not to worry.
English is my first and second language. All right, so in go W, pushing out registry hacks. Now, I left this the way you said it because I agree. We're going to hack the registry, Shane. We are so going to hack it.
We're going to hack it like crazy right now.
Yep, because,
I'm going to go ahead and hack an email by typing into it. That's how people.
I'm going to hack the help by typing F1.
You call it what you want.
Yeah.
There we go. Reg edit. So first thing, there's a couple of different ways you can get registry entries in. You can use PowerShell. You can do command line. I'm going to show you the easiest way ever. Okay, which is JJ. Is this centered up good for you? Okay. So right here,
Can we change reg edit to reghacker.exe?
That's a good idea.
I will work on that after the show.
Telling you.
Next time.
You'll notice right here, I added an entry here, the PDQ Emperor. And then the PDQ Emperor Supreme, and the information behind that is Lex rules all. Honestly, you should probably all put this on every machine you have.
It's very important.
It is. It makes everything run better. The easiest way, once you've added what you needed or you found what you needed, is you can right-click here at the key level and hit Export. Okay, I'm going to export this to the desktop. I already did that, and here it is, the PDQ registry hack, which I will open with Notepad so you can see it. And there it is. Okay.
Pretty simple. Got the path, got the value.
Now, the great thing about this is I can now build a package, hitting New Package, and I'm going to add actually, I probably should name this, right?
Yeah.
Emperor.
Lex, how many new packages do you have in your workstation? Just
Yeah,
like
That are
ones
just
that
called
are
New
actually
Package.
typed
Pretty
new
much every
package.
single one of them, and I got to go read them again.
Yeah.
Did I spell Emperor right?
Sure.
Okay, good enough. Emperor is the name of our package. Now, the great thing about this is all you got to use is the install step. Now, as things that you can run with the install step, MSI's, EXEs, flashback to the 90s, Visual Basic script, PowerShell script, and then registry edit files.
Yeah.
I'm going to go grab that guy off the desktop because it's easy to find on my desktop.
Got 'em right
On
there.
my desktop. There it
Ready
is,
to go.
registry hack. Looking at you, Shane.
I know. I'm
He's
rolling
shaking
my
his
eyes.
head.
And the nice thing is, look, because it's a REG file, we already know it's a regedit /s. Going to save the Emperor file. And Shane, what's the name of your computer? Because I'm going to put this, I'm going to
gonna
hack
hack your
your
computer.
registry, baby.
Lex is not emperor.
Oh, I am. So again, I'm going to run this, deploy it out. We'll go to inventory and select, I don't know, how many should we select? Handful
I
of
think
them.
we shouldn't do anything less than all of them.
You know what, I agree. But the
Now,
great
for
thing is-
demonstration,
purposes, we'll just do these guys. Give it an OK, and this will run very, very fast and quick because
Very
it's just,
simple.
You just deployed
hacking,
to yourself.
hacking the Did I deploy it to Guinness?
Yeah.
It belongs
okay.
on Guinness.
right.
It does. It's going to
There
make
you
the
go.
machine run better.
Okay.
And then, of course, reg file is great. So you did one entry, and in one entry, it could be kind of considered overkill, as you can do a PowerShell step or a command step to do a reg, like a command step, a reg command. But
this is still probably
where you're where the reg files really come in handy is when you have to add a lot of values right there.
Absolutely.
But then it's taken. Now, really quick, do you mind? You don't have to go through the whole thing. But what if somebody wanted this to run all the time, not having to select all the computers? It's basically the dynamic member of a collection. What would you do?
Wow, it's like you're looking at my page right here.
Oh,
because
I didn't know that you were doing that. I just didn't want to lose that.
Gabe C right here. He's like, Gabe C is like, I love being able to do custom registry scans and then doing collections to auto deploy off that. So, Gabe, thank you, brother. We're going to do this right now because everybody deserves Lex as the Emperor. So, first thing, let's go over to inventory and scan profiles, and we'll build a new scan profile. We'll call this Emperor Lex, just so we know what it is, right?
yeah.
And while you're typing this in, you could also add this to an existing scan profile if you wanted. If this is something that you wanted scanned all the time, add it to standard or any of the applications or anything that you run a lot.
You're right. This actually should be run standard all the time.
But it's okay. Go ahead.
But
For demonstration.
for
we'll
demonstration
make it its own
purposes.
thing.
Okay, I had to copy and paste this, guys, because we all know if I had to type that sentence out, we'd be here all day.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at software admin arsenal PDQ Emperor, and the Emperor Supreme is the value that I'm looking for. Okay, give that an OK. Again, the nice thing, sorry, I probably should have popped that up. we've got some really great wildcards and show you how to do that up there up top
Yeah,
here.
we get a lot of questions in support about the registry scanner and like how you make your include patterns. So there's a lot of good information right there. You can click on example patterns and
Works out good. Now,
Yeah.
just because I built this doesn't mean the thing has run yet. So I'm going to grab, we'll just grab these guys right here and kick off a scan computers with the Emperor Lex. And that should return data. While that's
really
returning
quick.
data, should we hit a question?
Dear Lex and Stephen, in PDQ Deploy, is it possible to configure a PDQ inventory scan after successful deployments only? It seems that inventory will scan after a deployment even if it fails. If a deploy fails, I don't need PDQ inventory to scan since nothing has changed. Sincerely, Curtis W.
May I opine?
I was going to say,
Absolutely.
let's point
All
that
right,
over
so,
to you, Shane.
Yeah, that's by design. And at first, when we first put that out there, just some etymology for that feature. When we first put it out there, it was strictly by success only. We had a number of people saying, "I really do want this rescanned afterwards." We heard enough that we made the change. So what you want to do is maybe use in the final step of that particular package, use a scan step, and if it has made it to that point, the final step, it will work. And then you simply disable scan after on that package. You can show them how to do that right now. Open a package and just turn off. If you have the default to scan after, you go ahead and just say, options. There you go. Actually, go
It's
to
in the
properties. You gotta go to
deploy
properties,
ones.
buddy. You gotta go to properties.
Properties, there we go. Sorry, my bad.
And
Scanning.
it's scanning. Just change that to do not scan, but add a scan step for the last one.
so yeah, let's do that.
This is a way to get, I think, what you were asking for.
Do the default scan profile, or you can specify a
We
specific
should
one.
probably, yeah, there you go.
Choose
then,
your
uh,
scan profile, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that if it makes it to, obviously step one should be fail or stop the deployment if this step fails. So if you have those set correctly, then by the time it hits the last step, in this case scan, you're going to achieve what you want.
Absolutely. Cool. Thank you, Shane. Yeah, we'll save that. I like
Sure.
that.
Okay.
So our scan ran. Let's build a dynamic collection. We're going to call this the Emperor. I just love that. I
Yeah.
love being the Emperor.
We can
Oh, actually,
we know.
let's do this really quick. Let's pop up where you can go find that data.
Yeah.
So I opened Beth because we ran it on Beth. If you go to registry, you'll notice right here, the value once again, which is the most important part, Lex rules all. So we know where we need to go find this now.
Yep. In the registry table.
And we'll go back to building my dynamic collection. So we're going to go to the registry. We're going to go value, name, contains. We'll just put in Lex because I don't think I can type the whole thing. And thank you. Hopefully at this point it'll drop this bad boy right down here and
Wait for it.
wait for it, own it, love it. I did it wrong.
Open that up again.
Here's the
Search
troubleshooting
value.
portion of
Yeah.
it. All right.
So you got the value name,
The
not the
value, it's
value.
the value. Okay, so
His name
there you
was
go.
like Emperor.
The great thing is so quick, we can tell I did it wrong right out the gate. So, all right, so now,
And then, of course,
There we go.
you're going to probably want to have additional filters. Ultimately, like, hey, only if Lex exists in this path.
exactly.
But for sake of time, we'll
Sake
take
of
that.
time, and then to find out everybody, the more important part is this, to negate that. This needs to, all the machines that needs Lex as Emperor, we just go in here and don't return any from that container. So at this point, we know all the machines that we really need to send that out to, which is everybody doesn't have it at this
Everyone
point. So kind of a long way to get there, but remember, Lex should be the Emperor.
Cool.
So
Okay.
switch sides again.
Next up, we have a tip from C. Collins. So this is actually one that I used at my previous job as well. You can dig into any of our pre-built packages from the package library to kind of learn how to build your own packages. So when I was first starting out and trying to figure out how to get these silent installs to work, I would go and look at the package library.
It's a great cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Life's Notebook Test.
That's right.
That's one you always quote, Shane.
So before, we went to the package library and we downloaded this Java 8 alternate package. This is one of our older packages, so let's take a look at all the different things that happen here.
I love this package because it, it's very verbose at what it does. I mean, Shane and I, there's more elegant ways to do this in PowerShell, but this shows you some ways to do things like, for example, right now, task kill an MSI.
Yeah.
Yeah, the alternate Java was built because there were enough that it happened. We're talking sometimes 10% of machines that would take Java would fail, and it was because they had remnants of previous Javas that would prevent the MSI from actually executing. So we've just gone in there and done a brute force clean.
UFC'd that baby.
I mean, you can see, so
Spray and
first
pray.
we kill a bunch of things, task kill, Internet Explorer, all these different processes get killed. Any previous MSI exec install. We have a step to uninstall previous Javas.
Versions.
And it goes through and lists like every possible uninstall string for the different versions. Deleting keys
Here's
from
the registry. Yeah, this is a more elegant way than probably I did it, but you could do it this way. You could use PowerShell.
whatever works.
Yeah.
But a great cheat sheet for, once again, if you're saying, well, how do I delete one value using like regexe? Hey, it's right there in the alternate.
Yeah. Our batch files are running, more registry. So yeah, lots of different things. You can see the install step where we just have a simple MSI, and then you have a transform. Parameters specifies a transform file, which is this MST file. And you can see that the MST is there in the additional files. So yeah, if you're trying to figure out how to do something, take a look at a package, maybe one that's similar. And I want to show you one other cool thing. So if you have a step here, suppose that you're trying to install, maybe you're trying to make a custom package that also uses Java. You can copy steps between packages. So I just went here, copied, and if we do our new package, paste the step right in from another package. So that's a really easy, cool thing.
Retains all the information, the location of the file, all the parameters, transform.
Exactly. You can edit if you want to edit it. So maybe you opened up a transform file and made some changes, and then you renamed it. You can just put in the new one.
Oh, one other thing. Let's just pop open Java here. Let's say you wanted to make changes to this specific package. You go to the properties level at the package, and then under options, convert to standard package.
Right.
Now you can go in and edit this. Before, you could just edit pre and post steps. Nice thing is you can now edit this anywhere you want. The caveat is it will not get auto-updated at this point because it's now yours. So, just some pointers there.
So I think that about covers it. Hopefully that'll just help you learn more about doing your own custom packages.
Absolutely. Do we got a question or anything?
Dear Lex and Stephen, is it possible to query the PDQ SQL database to return a list of active deployments? Thanks, Brooks J.
Yes.
Yes. Do we have?
We're going to go with yes.
He didn't ask to demo it, so.
I have the query. A few of us have figured out the query, but I'm not going to be able to just say
Maybe
it.
someone from one of the support team can paste that in.
Oh, Colby might be on top of things. He dropped in a
Way
link
to
there.
go, Colbster.
Colby, of course, you're on top of things. Thank you.
There it is right there.
Yep.
Excellent.
So take a look at
So
Colby's
maybe we
link.
can add that to bonus content for those that are watching
Cool.
after the live version.
Absolutely.
All right. Next up.
All right. Next one's from Kyle C. This is one of my personal favorites. I mean, it's not super difficult, but if you don't know about it, you don't know about it. And that's Kyle C. likes to build a nested package, and he has a script that his team, after they image a machine, will kick this off to do all the deployment, so he doesn't have to sit and wait for people to do installs, which is great. I'm going to show you the super hard way to do this. So you might want to put this in slow motion so you don't miss anything. I hold down the control key. Actually, first, because I'm working with him, I'm on English, not Dvorak.
Already switched
Hold
it.
down
We're
the
good.
control key. I want 7-zip. I want the Emperor package. I want Flash. I want Java, and I want Google. And I did this out of order, not from top to bottom, because when I hit new package nesting these, it goes 7-zip, Emperor, Flash, Google.
Don't worry,
In the order
you
that I
clicked on.
selected them. So once again, I like to call this a baseline because this is what everybody should be getting when they come on.
For all new computers.
Excuse me, yeah, new computers. Save that. So that is building your nested package. The great thing is, because we had time, I put Scott S.'s auto deployment from a dynamic inventory collection.
Cool.
So at this point, we're going to make sure this baseline goes out from a dynamic inventory collection. So I'm going to jump into inventory. And the great thing here, we've got an Active Directory collection here called New Computers. And we've got 3 machines in there. I can actually, I can build a dynamic collection from that, or again, select all computers, new dynamic collection. We'll just call this new machines.
Cool.
And again, I can go after computers named whatever, or it's just your dynamic collection.
Yeah.
Where this comes into play on deploy is, let's go deploy that baseline. We're going to hit deploy once. Okay, choose targets. Obviously, I can go after Active Directory at this point, and I can pick new computers and
Move them over.
move them over, or better yet, I could actually schedule this.
Yeah, if you're going to schedule this, you don't want to choose the targets. You want to have the targets automatically loaded by linking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this would be, let's say it runs daily. Man, I'm so good at clicking weekly. Daily at, let's pick a time so this doesn't actually run while we're going live here. 8 p.m. Targets. Okay, if I choose targets like Shane brought up, this is a static collection. It no longer is
Static list.
dynamic at this point. I have to maintain it. Link to Active Directory container, new computers. I can link to PDQ Inventory collections, 7-zip old, whatever collection is that you want. I think the Emperor collection is always a good one. There we go. Doing it okay. And then options, stop deploying.
Yeah, so now every time this schedule triggers at 8 p.m., like we said, it will get the current list from these 2 places, from the Active Directory OU and from this collection. So if you're imaging your new computers and you have your new computers in that new computer OU, this will automatically run on those computers.
And again, if you're doing lots of those, you can set that to run up every hour, every 3 hours.
And
You
of
can
course,
trigger it
if
manually.
if those machines don't leave that OU, but you don't want them to get that deployment again if it's been successful, what do you do?
Right here, under the options, stop deploying to targets once they succeed. And there you go. Off to the races. What do you think? Any questions, JJ? All right. I'll switch spots.
Okay.
Dear Lex and Stephen, can you demonstrate the handy ability of PDQ Deploy to register an intentional PowerShell script exit code as a failed status? For example, blah blah nerd. We use it often with our scripts in packages. Thanks, Michael R.
Okay, hold on. So we want to have
And then,
register an intentional PowerShell script exit code as
Oh.
a failed status.
well, let's go take a look at my Emperor guy here. So let's say we got our PowerShell. We'll do a PowerShell script. Okay. Exit codes. Success code is 0. Okay. So if you've got a failed code, you definitely do not want to put it in as a success code. So if it, right now, I don't know, PowerShell, I don't know PowerShell all that good, but I'm sure PowerShell will
That
run
should
a
work.
dir.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if dir returns me anything except a success code, so your ones, your string of ones, as long as I don't put a comma here, is it Dvorak?
No, you're good.
Okay. A string of ones, right? Whatever your code is, that's going to register as a,
Success code.
that will be a success code at this point. If it's not in there, okay, it's going to come up and stop deployment with an error code. On the options tab is where you select what you're going to do with the error code, whatever that may be. So
Yeah.
the big thing is success codes on that line, error codes, don't put them there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're missing the point of your question because yeah, if it's not there, then
Yeah,
it's,
that
it's a
success
failure
code is effectively a whitelist. It's got to
Yeah.
exist there. If it doesn't, then
Everything else is an error.
it's considered a non-success.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Cool. Okay.
Excellent. All right.
The next trick we have came from William Z. It is creating uninstall packages from inventory. This is a cool trick.
I love this one because I'm lazy.
Yeah, we go to inventory. We already have all this information gathered about our computers. If I open up a random computer here and take a look at the applications, we have a list of all the applications installed, which by itself is super useful. But if you scroll over to the right a little bit, we have an uninstall
Strings.
section.
Yeah.
And this has uninstall strings that are put there by the vendors. So there is a bit of a caveat. Sometimes these uninstall strings are not for silent uninstalls. If it's
Basically anything that's an exe at this point.
usually, yeah. If it's an MSI exec, then it's a complete silent uninstall string that you can just use. But if it's an executable, usually you'll have to add whatever the silent parameter is.
So how would you kick that off as a remote command?
So super easy. Suppose we want to uninstall this application, Adobe. You just right-click on it, uninstall. That easy. It'll kick off uninstall from that machine.
And that will kick off basically a tool.
Yeah.
In
A remote
this case,
command.
it would do a remote command part of a tool. But you could, if you had a lot of machines that had that particular version, you could just copy that and then add that into a new
Better
package
yet,
tool.
you don't even have to copy it, Shane. You right-click and say create
That's right.
uninstall
You can create
package
it,
from
and it will just
PDQ
add
Deploy.
that one
Yeah.
thing there. But that generally, like especially on MSI uninstalls, that will only work for that version. So
Depending on the application, sometimes it's universal, but yeah.
Yeah. Now, I clicked on 7-zip here for the very reason that this is an exe file. It is not silent, so you do need to add the silent parameters
Yeah.
after the fact.
I'm not sure on 7-zip. You might have to do a little bit of research to
Google
find
foo.
out what the silent parameter is.
/S, I already did it. So.
Slash
Yes.
S. Got it.
And at this point now I have an uninstall 7-zip,
Yeah,
1805.
silent.
Yeah.
It's ready to go.
So
You can save that and reuse it.
Save it, launch it, love it, or not love it because it's uninstalling. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty easy. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to do another question, or we have one more trick?
Questions?
Dear Lex and Stephen, I remember there was a way to launch an inventory scan or deploy task from the client computer automatically. How do we do that again? I.e., client computer runs a command which runs the command on the PDQ station to kick off a scan/deployment. Thanks, Luke B.
Okay. Well, so PDQ Deploy and Inventory have some silent like CLI commands that you can use.
But you've got to be able to access the console. So running it necessarily on a client machine, that client machine's got to be able to execute a command on the console. Am I
Yeah.
talking this straight? Shane?
well, specifically not the console, but specifically the server.
the
so-
server, where the
Yeah, we'll get you started. So first of all, just to show you the silent parameters, if you want to see the parameters for PDQ Deploy, you just type in PDQ Deploy, and you can see a list of the available commands. Now, to run them on another computer, so if you want to run them from a console computer,
let's say you want to run it from my computer or my laptop to the console that is on a server, we'll say.
Yeah. So let's see.
You got to be able to pass that command like ps exec. You can pass it.
You can use it with ps exec. You can also do an invoke command. I'm going to do a help invoke.
I think we have a video on this, or a few
Yeah.
videos on this.
So this invoke command, it just tells you the way that you do it. So you can do an invoke command, you can specify the computer name, and then you can specify the script block so that you can run a command on another computer.
No, also, don't you have to have remote PowerShell scripts turned on?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a little
there's
bit complicated.
Some caveats there.
Yeah.
I do know. I think we got if not a knowledge base, a video on how to do this.
Yeah.
So, and there's a blog post in bonus content.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm pretty sure we're going to blame Colby for being on top of that one too.
Thanks, Colby.
Thanks.
Okay.
Got another question? You want me to hit the last tip and trick? All right,
Okay,
last tip.
Last tip.
That one's
This
yours.
one is from Tyler W. Tyler, this one's a little bit specific to if you're running a Dell shop. It's very easy for you to use a tool to get the Dell service number and look up the warranty info.
Now, if I remember from our discussion yesterday,
Yes.
the Dell service tag's a serial number. So
Yeah.
the serial number's grabbed. So what you're going to do is build a tool to
Yep.
pass that on.
So I already built it in advance. Right here, we're going to open up this PowerShell tool, get Dell warranty info. It's just going to run local. And all it's going to do is start process the link to the warranty info, and then it's going to insert the target serial number, which is the Dell service tag.
And to get those variables, you click on right here. Here's all the variables you can use when you highlight a machine, and serial number's right there.
Right there.
And so,
So we don't have any Dell machines here, but you can still see how it works. If I right-click on a computer, run the tool, get Dell warranty info, it's going to pop up the browser. It's going to go to that link and put in the service number. No match for that service tag since it's not a real Dell computer.
yeah,
But yeah,
there you go.
it's really easy.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So one last question.
Dear Lex and Stephen, after a software install, what would the steps look like in a package to restart if no user logged on, prompt user to restart if logged on?
All right, hold
Okay.
on.
So you'd have to have two different steps with different options.
Two different steps. Okay, my first question is, why in the world do you care what the end user does? I hate end users.
Some
Did I say
people
that?
care about
Did I
the
say that?
users. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, you
honestly,
can,
just force it down their throat. I mean, UFC that bad boy, and this is how I would do it. Okay. All right. So again, we'll bust out the Emperor package because it's just awesome. We're going to go add a new step called the reboot step. Obviously, you know how to do this. Okay. Again, I love giving my end users the ability to even read the message. So we're going to give them 1 second and write a really long message there, Steve, that says, if you can read this, you may have whatever it is, something super long they will never get through in a second.
Save
And it'll
your
reboot.
work in the next 1 second because your computer is rebooting.
Ignore this part, since if no one's logged on and change that, you don't have to. You don't actually have to
Logged on state.
to list a message.
Yeah.
Okay.
If no user is logged on, then just reboot with a timer of 0,
Yep.
and then a second step.
I
that has
see how it
different
is. You just drag us right back into answering the question
Let's
properly, as
duplicate
opposed to
this
me
step.
being a.
So we'll
Jerk
give them
like always.
like 3 seconds.
Wow.
See,
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to rub off
Please
on
don't
you a
take
little
this
bit.
literally,
Yeah,
everybody.
for reals, you'll want to do like a few minutes at
You
least.
Yeah,
actually
you
wanna
do
be
like
nice.
300 or something.
Yeah,
That's a good
300.
5-minute window.
And then we can put on this one, only run if a user is logged on. So
And disconnected. Yep.
those are the two options. Okay, we'll give them 5 minutes. Ooh, that's a lot of minutes.
Well, you're really kind.
Okay,
Force
so that's
it.
how you do that.
Force it. Don't even mess.
That's
Don't
probably, how you,
listen to
that's probably
him.
how you should do that.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, don't listen to
Okay.
that one. But hey, beyond my bad behavior, guys, these tips and tricks are great.
Yeah, cool
Thank you for
stuff.
sending them in.
Yeah, thanks for watching and hope you learned something.
We'll catch you all later.
See ya.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Curtis W. and Brooks J., winners of PDQ swag. Send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. If you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to our support forums. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week.